Good morning, crafties. I wanted to do a video because many of you have asked me to reach out to the Frederick, Colorado Police Department and voice concerns. Concerns that many of you have that Nicole Kessinger and Jim were not investigated thoroughly. And because I have experience doing this when I was working in a newsroom, I reached out all day long, pretty much, to public information officers, asking for interviews, statements, things like that, mugshots, all kinds of things. So I went ahead and I did that yesterday. It felt weird because I know this case is closed, but I do value your concerns and your opinions. I did reach out and I said, I am freshly starting a YouTube page and going back and covering cases that I covered in the past. One of them is the Chris Watts case, and I have a lot of subscribers who feel XYZ. They did respond, which I think is great. I will tell you I have reached out to District Attorney Michael Rourke in the past, and he does not respond, which I'm going to be honest, I find rude. You work for the public. You are a servant of the public. Technically they didn't vote him in office because no one ran against him this election, but you are the voice of the people. So you should be, you don't have to respond to me, but if someone from Colorado, which there are subs on my channel here from Colorado who are concerned with this case still, you should be responding to them. We know he did go on his wife's podcast, I think 2 years ago, and it has since been deleted, pretty much mocking people for having suspicions against Nicole Kessinger. I understand your suspicions. I do think the DA should respond to you, should respond to me. It's not like you don't have someone there in your office who can literally copy and paste the same response in regards to this. And that's what a lot of bigger cases like this, like Menendez brothers, things like that, they have their own dedicated website. But anyway, I did get a statement from the police, and I think that is great. They are addressing your concerns. The part in the letter where it says that the community has closure, I have to disagree with, because many of you don't have closure. I'll tell you where I feel like I have closure is that the FBI was involved in this case. And as much as you may want to think maybe Frederick, Colorado had their own agenda, that doesn't discredit that the FBI was involved. And they're the ones who really took over and started doing the interviews with Kessinger. And according to Frankie Rusick on his YouTube comment section, they did interview Jim. You may not be seeing it in the discovery. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. So I think that's where I have peace with this case. From what I know, she still lives in Colorado. So she's still living her life. You would think if someone were involved with something like that, they wouldn't stay where they are. They would go to a different country or something. But I do respect your opinions and your concerns, and I wanted to address them. So let me know your thoughts on that. I did also reach out to the special agent in charge of the FBI, asked them for an updated statement just to give some people closure, and I did not hear back. Sometimes that just happens. I'm more than happy to reach out again if if you guys want to press on that, but this is something anyone can do. You don't have to have background in journalism. Every government agency has what they call a public information officer, and you have a right to reach out to them and ask for information. You're paying tax dollars, you guys, so you have a right for an update, a statement, whatever it may be. But I want to know your thoughts on their statement saying that they feel the case was investigated thoroughly and that people have closure on this case. To close out this video, I do want to go back and listen to statements made by the DA moments after Watts was sentenced. You can just tell he is exhausted, traumatized from the whole experience. And I want to know your thoughts. Do you feel like you have closure?
Oh, I think it's very unusual. I can't really speak to the speed from the defense side, what their thought process was. I think that once we had an arrangement or an agreement where the death penalty was taken off the table, I think that makes it all the more likely that it is going to resolve that quickly. But I talked to Shanann's family after this today, and I said, I hope this gives a little bit of closure. It was fast, but anything we can do to try to get them on the road to healing is important. And so from that perspective, I appreciate the fact that it got done this quickly. This has been a case that has absolutely rocked not just Frederick, but the surrounding towns, the entire community. And I think we saw that in the courtroom today. For 21 years, and I couldn't possibly imagine anything worse than what we saw in this. Not just the fact that this man annihilated his family, but to have the utter disrespect for their remains by dumping them in oil tanks and burying them out in eastern Colorado really is something that shocked the conscience of all of us. That they did not want me to seek the death penalty, that really drove our discussions and our thought processes from the very beginning. Had it been different, had they come to me and said, absolutely, we want you to seek the death penalty, no ifs, ands, or buts, I probably would have. I put more stock in the desires, the beliefs, the family views on what we do in a case like this than anything else.